What is up, YouTube? PieFireSky9000 here. So this video has been a long time in the making, and I finally had a time slot open to make this video. So today we're going to be talking about this 1949 Reefer jacket. So yeah, let's jump right in. That's a horrible voice crack. First things first, what is a Reefer jacket? So a Reefer jacket, from the research that I've been able to do, is a double-breasted coat that's cut like a sack coat, but it's not really a sack coat. Actually, here, let me take it off so I can better show you what I mean. Another thing is that this jacket has amazingly retained all of its original buttons and features. So it does have buttonholes, so you can button it either right to left or left to right. I'm not entirely sure which way you're supposed to button it. I'm guessing it's this way because this way has a lapel button, I think is what it's called. I could be wrong. Please correct me if I'm wrong. And this button is original too, which I think is absolutely amazing. So only thing I can think of that's not super historically accurate is the chest pocket, which this is 1890s. The outfit that I'm trying to portray right now is 1890s. I'd say probably a period of 1896 to about 1899. So roughly a 3-year period. Let me take this off. Ooh, I'm showing my braces. Ooh, scandalous. So also another amazing thing is that the inside, I need to take a lint roller to this. Another amazing thing is that all of the lining silk has not shattered. It's even in the sleeves, and sleeve lining gives me the most grief on jackets, and this is basically new old stock to me, at least, because it is rather old. But it doesn't show any signs of wear, which is part of the reason why I really want to do more with this jacket. So and I mean, it's a beautiful jacket. Obviously, it wants to be black, but it's very, very dark navy blue. So I suppose in certain lighting it would become black, certain lighting it would become blue. So not a bad jacket at all. So let's quickly compare a Reefer to a double-breasted coat. I'll be right back. So this is a double-breasted coat. Just your average run-of-the-mill double-breasted coat. It only buttons one way. Obviously has certain trademarks, such as peak lapels, a 3x2 button closure, or would it be 2x3? I'm not entirely sure. This was made sometime in the last decade or so. Actually, I don't know if this has, well, if it had a tailor's tag, I would have known about it. So this is definitely a newer jacket, not something I'm a fan of, but it gets the job done. This was a precursor to when I found my Reefer. So I would wear this for 50s, 40s type of outfits. So on screen now, I'm going to put a few extant examples and photographs, fashion plates as well, of Reefer jackets, so you can get a general baseline of what I'm working with. So as you can see, typically it's a 2x3 button closure, though I think I've seen some with a 2x4 button closure, which is a bit much, but who am I to say anything? Excuse me, I sneezed. It's an interesting jacket because it really, really wants to be a sack coat, but it doesn't at the same time. And I think it's fun to experiment with, especially in the 1890s. It's such a pivotal time in men's fashion. It's interesting to see a different variation of sack coat come about. And as I said previously, I'm not a super huge fan of the sack coat, but all the hallmarks of the sack coat are in the Reefer, and I think it's very interesting. Hold on, that's bugging me that it's off center. I think in terms of historical context, that jacket was made in, at least. Obviously, we're post World War II. I'm not sure if that jacket is possibly a former military coat. Possibly, actually, I mean, it's interesting to me because I'm so used to finding antique and even vintage coats and there being damage, and there's no damage. The collar has not separated. The inside silk is basically untouched, and it smells antique, which is what I love. So I really don't think this would be a U.S. Navy jacket, so to speak. I just think somebody had a reefer and they liked it, because typically you're able to tell if it's a U.S. Navy jacket. And speaking of, actually, so let's quickly go over my haul from yesterday. I found this. Now, normally I would not buy something like this, but there's a caveat with that. The first being that it's nautical November, and secondly, I love nautical things. I was born to be a sailor, so when I saw this, I thought to myself, independent of the fact that this was probably a soldier's jacket. Well, not a soldier's jacket. What? Okay, I don't know how the hierarchy works in the U.S. Navy, which I'm assuming this is the U.S. Navy. Could be. I'm not entirely sure. Used to have the name, address, lot number, and date on the tailor's tag, but it was either never there to begin with or it faded away, because there's not a goddamn thing here. But the tailor's tag does look a little bit older, so I'm gonna lean that this is a little bit older. And let's try it on. The silk lining hasn't shattered in this one either. It's just needing a lint rolling immediately. But it's definitely older. I'd like it. I would be ecstatic, over the moon, if this was from the Titanic era. I greatly doubt it, but it would be amazing to find out that this jacket was from the Titanic era. 19 teens, maybe 20s. I could live with this jacket if it was from the 20s. So as you can see, obviously it has a 2x3 button closure. Sleeves are too long. I'm not getting them hemmed. I kind of need to figure out what I'm going to do with this, because restoration is not going to be very much of an option, but I don't want to get rid of it because this was such a lucky find that I really don't think I could part with this. The breast pocket, I guess, from extant examples I've seen, it's really hard to track a breast pocket, but I know for a fact that this breast pocket would not have been around in the 1890s and 1900s, so that eliminates that time period. And this jacket definitely is not from anywhere before that time. So yeah, jackets are very hard to date with just appearance, but I can tell that this jacket is definitely a little bit older. So yeah, this is not a reefer, so to speak, but it's similar to a reefer. All right, so yeah, that's about it. That covers about the history, the style, really everything I could possibly think to touch on with this particular reefer jacket. So yeah, this has been 5 9000. I will see you in my next video. Bye bye.